The Sound of Silence is a track that is used quite often in media, whether it be in films, advertisements, even in memes. But I've never taken the time to sit down and actually take in the music. And I have this inkling feeling that it's probably a lot deeper than the memes will have you believe. Even the duo, Simon and Garfunkel, are kind of memes at this point. They're thought of as not being very good, kind of funny, silly. But again, I think they're probably much better and more accomplished musicians and songwriters than the memes will have you believe. So let's check it out. That's what this channel is all about. Hope you guys enjoy the reaction. Okay, here we go. This is Simon and Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence. If you do end up enjoying the video, hit me with a like, maybe share it with a friend. And if you haven't already, join our awesome community by subscribing. Here we go.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Know this part.
I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
Wow, that's a poetic verse if I've ever heard one, man. Reading the actual lyrics, it kind of completely twists what I had in my mind of it. Like, dude, those are some great lines, man. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. So he's created this image of like a sapling, a seed, right? And then the vision that was planted in my brain, so it's growing, it's planted in my brain, still remains within the sound of silence. Wow, that's poetic as fuck, man. He has this haunting feeling inside of him that's come to him in a dream, right? That's kind of what he's talking about, dude. That's deep. Okay, I'll back it up again.
Within the sound of silence, in restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light. It split the night and touched the sound of silence.
Okay, I guess I was kind of right about the idea of having the memeness of the song kind of broken, that spell of it being a silly track being broken by listening to it like this, because this is a very poetic track. I want to kind of understand what he means by the sound of silence. Is this like the idea of like just sadness in general, right? That split the night and touched the sound of silence. What does that even mean, dude? It's just beautiful when you read it out like that. Okay, this seems to be a second vision that he has, where he's walking on a cobblestone street while he's underneath the halo of a street lamp. Very, very vivid in the imagery too. And I like that there's barely anything going on, right? It's this really haunting guitars being played, and just, I think it's the two of them, right? Simon and Garfunkel harmonizing together, which adds to the effect of this whole thing being like a dream. Let's back it up once again and go.
And touch the sound of silence, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence.
Okay, so it continues to evolve. It seems like this is one big sequence of dreams in his mind. I'm not sure yet if it's like a nightmare or a sweet dream. And I think that's added by the kind of ambiguity of the delivery and the music, right? If you want to look at it in a way, it can almost sound sad or depressing, the track, or it can sound almost hopeful or beautiful, like a kind of sweet vision came to him. Because in this verse, again, it's you're not sure if it's good or bad. So in the naked light, I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, talking without speaking, people hearing without listening. So it's almost as if he's in a place where people understand each other. They don't even need to communicate necessarily verbally to feel each other. People writing songs that voices never shared, right? They're all like in sync with each other. Or on the flip side, it could be like a devilish place, not devilish, but hellish. Like no one is actually like connecting with one another. That could be the meaning too, right? It could work both ways, perhaps. Back it up. No one dared disturb the sound of silence.
Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed of silence.
Echoed in the wells of silence.
And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls.
I like how the intensity is rising too.
Whispered in the sounds of silence.
That was a cool song, man. That was a very cool song. Yeah, that totally kind of breaks the spell of what it's been used in my life. You know, it always comes in like a funny meme, is what I've heard this track. And yeah, I thought that maybe listening to it would make me think of it differently, and it has. Now, listen, it's not my kind of music. You know, in terms of the music I've reacted to on this channel, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, and a lot harder stuff. I need drums and bass usually to like get into the track. But there's no kind of doubts that this is such a poetically written song. It might take me like a million times reading and listening to this to try and understand what it means exactly, especially that last verse, dude. If we can just kind of go over that. And the people bowed and prayed. So like this kind of vision or dream or whatever you want to call it kind of morphed over time, and at the end it turned like biblical in nature, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. So like they're like what would be the word, like worshipping false prophets. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said, the words of the prophets are written on the subway, walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence. So people have like lost God, and in this kind of crazy place that they're living in, where there's subway technology, people are cramped in tenement halls, in whispered in the sound of silence is God is still there. Dude, that's a deep fucking track. Holy shit. Okay, so that's kind of okay. Wow. So going back on the song, right? Is that what he was speaking about in this verse here, right? If it is about like the loss of God in modern society, if that's what we're going with the meaning, then this makes more sense, because 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking. That makes a lot of sense, right? Imagine, you know, maybe Simon and Garfunkel is from New York. Let's say they are, right? Well, that's what New York is like. Everyone's running around being busy doing their own thing. People hearing without listening. You know, they're not talking to one another. They've got like Walkmans in their ears. People are speaking on the phones with other people. People writing songs that voices never shared. Wow. People not chasing their dreams, perhaps. And so the songs were never heard. It's a cool song, man. I like this track, dude. It'd be cool to kind of revisit it again, maybe. But all in all, man, the writing and delivery of this thing, I think really made the song into what it is. Because it has that nature to it that's kind of ambiguous. Is it a dream? Is it a nightmare? Is it a little bit of both? Is it hopeful? Is it depressing? I don't know. These are all good questions. All in all, great track, man. Again, not something I'd add to the playlist, but super interesting to listen to. So I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up, man.